Welcome to the 135th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us for part 3 of our Central Ontario journey or adventure. And we also went to Haliburton, which was awesome, a great little place to visit. We went to see JanKnit's. We also went to visit one of my elementary school friends who I hadn't seen for quite a while, and that was a great little adventure. I'm excited to share that visit with you because it was a great visit. Colleen and I enjoyed ourselves so much. But before we talk about all of that, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
So let's talk about what May is wearing, and she is wearing the Shalola, and that's by Laura Nelkin. So it was one of the Lola's Choice kits. So there are some... This wasn't the yarn from the kit that was regifted to somebody else. This is one that I did because I liked how it sat. I thought it would be nice to May. And there's just a little bit of bling down the center. And it looks really nice on you.
It's really nice and light.
Exactly. So this is the Cascade Yarns Heritage Wave. And it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So that's what May is wearing.
Now, the yarn that you use makes it light.
Yes.
That's what makes it really light. The yarn must have been fine, was it?
It is. It's fingering weight yarn.
Oh.
Now, what I'm wearing is the rest of the ball. Because as you can see, the yarn's the same. It just changes color. And that is the Cascade Heritage Wave. And this is Zuzu's Petals by Karina Spencer. And this is a great pattern because you can make this... in different weights of yarn, and it's got all the information in the pattern. And it's nice and light too. I was thinking that today, I thought, oh my gosh, like we know it's like 30 some degrees outside. We're in the basement, so we can wear this. But it feels so light. I thought, why don't I wear this more often?
Yeah, no, you don't even feel like you have anything on.
I know. And it adds a little zhuzh.
Yeah, zhuzh.
A little zhuzh. So that's what we're wearing, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object ends up being part of a set. So we showed you this last time.
Cute little hat.
And that's one of these basic baby hat patterns, and that's by Heather Turcotte. And what I did was I used the pattern, let me just get the piece of paper here. I used the stitch pattern from the Scrappy Quilt Socks by KF Jones.
I love that.
And it just makes it a little bit fun. It's not such a plain hat. Now, when we held it up last time, I thought, oh my goodness, I think that might be a little small. So what I did was I knit the next size up. It's not that different, but I think it might give a few little options there. Yeah, so I'm really happy with that. And that yarn is called Trendy Baby by Mary Maxim. And it's antibacterial, anti-pill.
Now, can you turn these ones up or not? Like, is this,
I haven't put enough of a brim that you could do that. I guess you could if you wanted to, but yeah, I haven't really left enough of a brim that you can do that.
It's cute though.
Thank you. So the rest of the set is those baby toddler socks. So it's F193 by Plymouth Yarn. And here we are.
It's nice to see these things knit up and in different colors.
Exactly.
So if people wanted to knit these, they could look at that pattern and these.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a cute little set.
So that is a DK weight yarn. And I think it's really cute.
And that'll wash up nice?
It will absolutely, easily. It's 100% anti-pilling acrylic.
Very cute.
Yes, so that's the first thing. Now the second thing is also a set, and you did see the that basic baby hat by Heather Turcotte, but this time I used different yarn. So I'll let you hold this up. So I didn't put any stitch texture in that.
I love this yarn.
That is James C. Brett Driftwood DK. And I really like how it came out.
I love this color. I think this would be a great adult hat, an adult color.
It would be. Now, I had shown that last time, but because I wanted to show you this set, and this is the set of the mittens. Now you can see that I tried as best I could to get them to be the same, even though the yarn was changing all the time. And I got close. This one's got a little bit of a white tip to it, but what are you going to do?
They look similar, my goodness.
That's right. So those are the world's simplest mittens, and they are simple. So that's by Tin Can Knits. Great. And this has got all different sizes, and I'm really happy with how that
So
turned out.
if I was a beginner knitter, this would be a really cool thing to do to see if you could knit mittens.
Exactly.
And because it'd be so small, and then you could figure out if you could knit mittens, and
Yeah,
then
I
if you
think
could
it's
knit
great.
small ones, you could certainly knit larger ones.
Exactly.
Those are lovely. I love this yarn.
I love that yarn. I thought
love
I
it.
could make a cowl for you easy.
Yes,
out
I
of that.
like that. I think that'd be really nice.
I could.
Very
I might.
nice.
I'll have to find out where I bought them.
You have been busy.
Busy. So that's that. So then I'm still in work knitting. So sometimes it's for people who are having grandbabies, and next thing you know, it's things for work knitting. So what I did, and this was in fact three balls of the Charisma, and that is loops and threads, lovely yarn. And so what I did, here's what I was able to make with 3 balls. I was able to make an adult cabled hat. So this is the Chunky Cabled Hat by Destiny Meyer. And you're going to have seen these, and I apologize if you're getting sick of the whole thing. But it's kind of nice to see them, and kind of nice to know what you can make out of 3 balls. So I was able to make that. Then we have...
And you have the button in here, I see.
I do have the button in there. So that just keeps that pom-pom...
Nice.
So it sits up.
Yeah, that's nice.
So you can wobble it, but it doesn't wobble.
Nice.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. That's the whole Diane. Okay, so that's that part. So the second thing I was able to do with those 3 balls of yarn is to make one of the Christine button cowls. And that's by Cozy Up Knits.
Very nice little
Great.
set.
It is. It's a nice set, both cabled. A little different, but this is lovely, and it would be a great Christmas present. I know lots of people are doing Christmas in July, so if you're thinking if you've got a nice cold place to knit right now, there you go. I think if I was knitting lots of heavy wool, I'd be in the basement knitting.
Very nice.
So that's that. And then I still even had enough left from that to make this, which is from the Home of Yarns, and it's called Knitting Pattern for Ribbed Headband with a Twist. And it's lovely.
So all this from
three
balls of yarn.
Yeah, 3 balls.
That's great.
It is. It's really nice. So this needs 1 and a bit, and then the hat needs 1, and then with the rest of the bit. And I still have a little bit left.
Nice. That's
Yes.
great use of the yarn, for sure.
Exactly. So that's that. Now, a little bit more work knitting. So we've been working with the Bombini Cow from KF Jones. Lovely pattern. So I've made 2. The first one, I used 2 yarns. One is Tivoli, and that's by Hobby Yarns. And the other one is Amigo, also by Hobby Yarns. Now, I think what happened is the Tivoli, if I'm saying it right, Tivoli, they've discontinued it. But we have some of the nice tealy green. And so...
Is that the Royal We?
Yes, we do. So there is that.
That's nice.
It's really nice.
It's really nice to see these knit up in different colors.
Exactly. So I thought it would be nice under a coat. Yeah. Oh, that suits you. We should just change out and put it on.
I like that, yeah.
That's it. So I really like how that one is. And I've got more yarn. I'll probably make another
Maybe I'll
one.
wear this one next podcast. I like that one.
Okay.
These would be great to sell. Really
Well,
nice.
that is to sell.
I know, I love it.
We might have to put that aside for a minute.
No.
I've got more green yarn. I've got
That's
more white yarn.
lovely. I
so
love
it's all
that
good.
color.
Yes, it's pretty. So then May said, what happens if somebody doesn't like stripes? And I thought, oh my goodness, she has a point. So I had 1 ball left of Comfort DK, Baroko Comfort DK. So it's 50 grams. And I was able to make...
This is nice, just plain. I
It
really
is
like
nice
that.
way. It really shows off the texture. So I had made a hat, one of the chemo hats out of this yarn, and I had a ball left over, and I thought I'll just do that. And the texture really shows up.
Really nice. It looks,
You know, like a black coat with that underneath is a real classy color
Right.
combination.
it looks very Vogue, this one.
Yes.
As compared to that one. You know,
Yes.
like, I mean, they're both nice, but
Yeah.
this just has a little class to it. I like
Well,
that.
there we
so
go.
maybe more plain ones. I like
I
that.
don't know. It looks nice on you too.
Well, I'm going to have a closet full of these
She's
things.
gonna
We're not
have a
going to sell
closet.
anything.
No, that's for sure. Now, there's still more. So now, the next
Holy.
2 things I know are not knitting. They are some sewing. So the first thing that I did was I decided that I would make a pillowcase. And then, of course, I wanted to use fabric, and it was directional, and it made my life miserable, but I figured it out. So here is the pillowcase that I made. And let's get the fabric
Oh, I like
right
that.
way up. Yes, there it is. So what's really nice about this, and this comes from the Crafty Gemini, you can follow her, that it is French seams on the inside, by the way, Paris fabric, French seams, it all makes sense. So there are no open seam allowances anywhere. Everything's covered up, there's no raw edges, and life is good.
This is beautiful.
I'm quite happy
love
with it.
I really like it.
I was a little worried because I had bought some fabric. I was going to make another one for somebody for Christmas, and I bought directional fabric, and I went, oh my goodness. So I thought, I'm going to use fabric I have, and I had a couple of meters of that. Well, I use fabric I have, and then I'll see if I could do it, and I did it.
I love your color choices of the nice.
Thank you.
That's really nice.
This is actually going to be good for me because what happens to me when I'm trying to pick colors is I almost freeze because I want it to be just right. And I'm worried I picked the wrong colors, and then what am I going to do? And I want it to be right, and a little bit of perfectionist in me. And so I thought, okay, Colleen, you are just going to go for this.
Yeah,
what
well,
do you
you've
have?
picked up the light gray.
You know, I'm
or
so
you could
glad
have
you
used
noticed
that color there.
I
but-
could have used gold.
Yeah.
I tried it with the yellow, and the
No,
yellow
it's
just was
too
too yellow.
much. So
Yeah.
I think you did a great job.
Thank
working
you.
that out.
And I like the black
black
strip.
trim, yeah. This is great, these pillowcases. I like them.
There we go. So I'm going to be making some for Christmas presents, but right now it's not Christmas yet, so I'll have a little bit of time left.
Okay.
So those are my finished objects. And May, how about you?
Well, I made something for you quickly.
Yes, let me reach over.
We had gone to a, and you'll remember which.
Do you want me to be Vanna?
You will remember. You will remember the yarn store that
Yes,
we went to.
Never Enough Knits in Port Perry.
See, I knew you'd remember that. Well, you've got a great memory.
No, I'm lying to you.
Oh,
Take it back. Never Enough Wool. And I know that because I think that's the most brilliant name for a yarn store. Never Enough Wool. Because I say that to me all the time.
you do.
Never enough wool.
And I can't believe our base.
So now I can go like this.
Well, what happened in that store? They had a 2x4 almost. I think it was a 2x4, and they had routed out the middle, and they
Right.
had put in this little
Row
thing,
counter.
a row counter. And Colleen said, "That's a great idea. I could really use something like that." So I thought about getting a 2x4 and routing it out.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have a scroll saw, and I thought I have this little piece of scrap, 2 pieces of scrap wood. I'll just scroll saw out a hole and put a bottom on, and then you
Look
can
at
have
that.
it, and then you can
it's
just
going to be nice and stable. I'm really
yeah,
happy
it's
with that.
stable, and you can sit it on the
Exactly.
counter. You may want me to finish it somehow with some spray or whatever, but
Yeah, we can talk about that. But it's great.
yeah,
and it's
you
going
like
to
it?
just sit beside me.
and then you can just touch it. You
Touch
don't have
it.
to do it. So
There we go.
that was a
That was
little,
a brilliant thing.
little
And a
project.
present for me.
But it wasn't my idea. It came from that store, from
Yes.
that 2x4.
Yeah.
I just hacked the pattern, I guess. And I've been making little. Remember, I said a few podcasts before I've been making little toy cars. So I've made
Look
some
at
little toy
these.
car with some
Yes, that's
oak and some
race
poplar
cars,
wood.
yeah.
Some little race cars. Now
at
this
that.
one here has my finish on it, and
Yeah.
it is safe, food
Right.
safe for kids.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm going to make a
brilliant.
video on how I make that.
That's a great
board
idea.
butter. You can put it on your cutting boards, or if you have
Charcuterie boards.
charcuterie boards. If you have kids' toys, you can put it on that, or
That's
kids'
right.
jigsaw puzzles.
Very
and
good.
basically, what it is beeswax and mineral oil just heated up. So I
that's
will
right.
put that on, and the ratio that I use, and I really like how it
It
comes
really,
out.
yeah, it makes the darker wood. Is that walnut?
It is definitely walnut. Yes,
Look at me. It's not a yarn store. I know walnut.
it's okay. I know fingering weight. So I really like the finish when it brings up the wood. It just
Right.
brings that up.
Yes.
And yes, so that is a couple of those projects. I've been working on videos, how-to video to make my dolphins that I make
Right.
woodworking wise. So that's very time consuming.
Yeah.
What else have I been working on? I'm still involved in Ancestry, which I enjoy very much.
Yes.
I love connecting with my cousin in Scotland. We've been really chatting, and I love our conversations. Appreciate that. Someone else new had contacted me from Australia that we are now related. We are
Yeah.
related,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. So I'm researching as to
Trying
how
to figure out.
that kind of worked.
Right.
And so lots of interesting things going on, and watching Colleen knit. It's been
There
fun.
you go. And I forgot one finished object.
Oh.
Can you believe I forgot a finished object? So I'm going to reach over here. So this is another one of those little
Oh, yes.
credit card wallets.
I love these.
So
It's got a little tag on there.
Yes.
I love the inside because it fits the cards.
Yeah.
You can put money in the middle
one,
and it fits credit cards here. Because sometimes when you go pickleballing or if we're just running in somewhere, you don't always want to take your big full wallet full of stuff.
Right.
It's good for your health card. It fits Visa cards.
Yeah, I think your health card when you're playing pickleball, just in case you fall down.
Shh, don't talk. Touch wood.
Don't say it.
Touch wood. Touch wood. So yeah, I love this. I just love it, and the snap works great, and it would fit in my pocket. So.
Now, when I was making this one, I was actually trying to videotape myself, which was kind of hilarious. And May wasn't around, so it was like there was not my director. So I said to May, we're going to have to sit down. We're going to have to put that video together. But I just wanted you to be able to see how it gets
So you're
made.
going to have a tutorial on this then?
A tutorial on that. I've got it all filmed. That's the finished product of the...
Yeah.
But as I said, there's going to be little bumps on the road.
Some of these people on YouTube, if you're ever watching a YouTube channel, some of them are just so professional. They do such a great job.
Right.
And I know from doing this how much work is involved. So I could really appreciate the work involved in the YouTube channels. And it just kills me. Like, not on our video. People on our videos are just so positive and kind.
Exactly. That's
and
right.
you know, we make mistakes and everybody's really good.
Yeah.
But some other videos that they comment on their videos, and I think, are you kidding me? Like, you know how much work these people have done for free for you to put this together?
Right. That's exactly right.
So, you know, it's always nice to be kind because of the work involved, and then I can really appreciate what people do.
For sure.
And especially when you've tried to do that on your own, you know how difficult it is.
Oh dear, it was a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, it's fun though, and we enjoy it. So
That's right.
Yes.
So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is a hoe.
I don't know why we do that every time.
Every time. So there is the half finished object. Now this is the Fairground Socks by KF Jones. And I wanted to make sure I had socks that looked a little different from what May's were, so they're a little bit longer. I made her shorty socks with the same yarn. And this is the self-striping sock set by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not by the Toronto, it's by Polka Dot Creek. It's the Toronto Maple Leaf colors.
So when we watch hockey starting in whenever the season begins,
yes,
we'll be wearing our Toronto Maple Leaf socks because we are Toronto Maple Leaf diehard fans because we've been rooting for them for like 35 years and they still haven't won the Stanley Cup.
But anyway,
we still like them.
Now this is an opal fingering weight yarn that I just threw in. So the nice thing is I've tried to keep it away from, because the blues are not exactly the same, but unless they're side by side, you don't see it the same way.
They've got little like holes in them, like
they do.
That's cool.
I know.
Like you can
the pattern is great. This is self-striping yarn. It worked really well. You could do them plain because then you get the pattern. So the pattern itself has either this butterfly heel that's KF Jones created, or it does have a heel flap and gusset.
Very nice.
So that's great. I'm working on the other one, and it's nice. It's just a 4-row repeat. Easy as pie. Great knitting when you're watching something on TV, which I tend to do when I'm knitting. So there we go.
Nice.
And hopefully I have enough left. I have a little bit more of another ball, so we're going to see. Now, I have to be honest with you. There are 3 sizes, and I tried using the smallest size because when I measured my foot, it should have been the smallest size. It just wasn't working. So I think I needed the extra stitches in the heel, I think. And partly I think that opal yarn might not be as thick, and so I think it doesn't give you as much width that you need. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I'm happy with how those are going. They feel great on my foot, and so that's kind of fun. Now, my second work in progress is a Pearl Soho classic ribbed hat. Now there's all the options that you can do with that. And it's by Pearl Soho. And somebody had mentioned that they thought that perhaps some of the baby hats were too big. Now, the ones that are chunky, I always make them big enough that you can flip the brim, and then gradually as the child gets bigger, you can flip the brim down. But this is a great one. So it is ribbed. It's going to be ribbed all the way up until we do the shaping.
That's nice.
It's that beautiful yarn that you like. So that's that Driftwood DK by James C.
Now you're going to be able to turn this one up?
Yes.
No? Yeah, that'll be nice. Like that?
Absolutely.
Well, that's going to be really nice.
And this yarn, oh my goodness. Like I want I want a sweater in that
Yeah,
yarn.
I do.
But I don't know
love
how to
it.
make a sweater. It's really nice and soft.
The color is amazing.
Exactly. They're really pretty.
Yeah, I like that.
So anyway, so that will go into the, we don't know what the babies are yet, pile. So that's that. Now, my last knitting work in progress is the Millie Cowl by Michelle C. Meadows, who is the Muskoka Yarn Goddess. This is a lovely pattern, and this yarn is amazing. So this is hand-dyed Creative Musings, Muskoka Yarn Goddess, and this is Smoosh. That's what the base is. And this is actually called Chanel number 5, and I didn't even know that.
Wow.
So it must be
Is that the color? No, it's not the color Chanel number.
Oh, but maybe that's the color.
Maybe
of it.
that's the color.
No, but that's this
that's the
one.
band for that, though.
Exactly.
But this looks like Chanel number 5.
Well,
the
there
color,
we go.
Anyway,
I have
this
to
is the
tell
one that
you.
we saw in the
In the store, yeah,
and I
Muskoka
really
Yarn
liked it.
Connection.
Yes.
So this has got merino, alpaca, and silk. Oh my goodness, it feels lovely. Now I'm close to being done. I still have a little bit
Wow,
left.
this yarn is beautiful.
Oh, it is amazing. And I love this blue. I think it will be nice. Once
Yeah.
again, I'm always saying under a black coat because guess what I have?
Black
a black
coat.
coat. I also have a navy kind of coat, and it would be
Right.
nice under there as well.
Right. I really like this pattern.
Me too. It's really, really,
Really
nice.
nice. That yarn's beautiful.
Nice.
That'll be nice when you block this too.
Listen to her talk.
I know.
Blocking
I'm
is
talking
gonna-
yarn here.
It's a whole other language, but she's doing great with it, that's for sure. And I so appreciate that you come along for this ride of craziness that
It's
I have.
been fun adventures for sure. We get to go
There
to
we go.
places we never would have gone to.
Exactly.
Who knew we'd go to Haliburton up
I
just to
know.
visit JanKnit's and a yarn
Exactly,
store like
that's right.
you know.
So my last work in progress is, it's going to end up being a project bag. So the Bakery Bears are doing their summer of stitching, and this year they did slow stitching. So I'm kind of, so first of all you had to do the slow stitching at the top.
Is this a new technique or is this something you know about?
It's kind of a mindful sewing, hand sewing technique is what it is. It's been done for hundreds of years, but they've just got a new name for it.
You didn't have to learn how to do this, like take a class sort of thing.
No class.
Just the knit. it's
Maybe
just
maybe I should have taken a class.
Is it
Maybe
just
I
like
should've.
it's just like sewing?
It is just sewing. So you could do blanket stitch. This is whip stitch that I did. So there's the front and the back. This is going to make a drawstring bag, which I'm
Oh,
very
that'll be
excited
fun.
about. And it's the fabric that I'm using is linen. This is these fabrics come from is it called a charm pack? I'm not a quilter, so I don't know. Anyway, I think the squares were 5-inch ones. So I just used, there was all florals. So there's different colors and
I
different
see you've got a little bee and a butterfly.
yeah, tried to do that. So the front and back aren't the same. Once again, I'm trying to just work through I want everything to be perfect. And so this, so far, it's good. I'm happy with it.
Perfectionism is your
My downfall?
well, it's a good thing for you because our work and what you do in the soaps and all
Yes.
the soaps we make
Yeah.
is great. But when it comes to picking colors, it
I know.
is your downfall because then
I
you
know.
hesitate to kind of get involved in something
Exactly.
if it's not perfect.
That's right. So what I'm just trying to do is I go for it. So I think this pillowcase business, just go for it.
That's right.
I think so.
Yeah.
And if anybody says, well, I don't like exactly the colors you put together, then they don't have to use the pillowcase.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's been fun because my son has a dog, and so I found some dog fabric, so I think that will make a nice couple of pillowcases that way, and I've got some fabrics that the mums might like, and
That's
we'll go
right,
for
that's
them.
good, yeah.
So it should be fun. It's just something different. I've done lots of knitting for like hats and mitts and scarves and all that kind of thing, so this is going to be a little bit of a different thing.
Now, in between Colleen doing all this work, you make soap.
I do think so.
We make soap.
Yes, we do.
We, royal we again, Colleen makes the soap, and I'm the person that kind of cleans everything and washes everything up.
Right.
But it's better just to have the one person doing the soap because you know all the calculations and
Right,
everything else.
Yeah.
But all the soap that you make and, all the projects that you do, I don't know when you have time for anything else. Like, and you play pickleball, and you
Yes.
play pickleball quite well, actually.
Thank you.
I don't know when and you go to exercise class.
Yes.
I don't know when you have time to do, and you take care of your mother.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I
That's
don't know when
okay.
you have time.
That's why we're busy.
And to do podcasts.
And we do podcasts.
Yes.
But I love it all.
Yes.
So
it's fun. It's
yes,
exciting.
It's fun and exciting. So that's fun. So those are my works in progress. And May, how about you works in progress?
Well, I don't really have anything physical here, but I have been progressing with my tutorials on my dolphins.
Right.
I have been helping you with the soap.
Yes.
I have been busy in the garage, getting ideas
Right,
and
right.
working on little tiny things that I can't bring in. But always something on the go, pickleball. I don't go to
Exactly.
exercise class, which maybe I should.
No,
And
it's
my
all
mom's
good.
pretty independent, so
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. My
But
mom's going to be
you met
88.
oh, yes, she's going to be 88.
She's going to be 88, and she's very independent.
That's right.
She still drives, and she still has her friends over, and she still cooks for everybody. And actually, her friends are probably 10 years younger than my mom, and she takes them to their doctor's appointments. And
Yeah.
doesn't she? And
She's amazing.
unbelievable. Anyway, so I'm very happy about that.
That's
Keep my
right.
fingers crossed.
Now, the other good thing that happened to May this week is she has a new little friend.
I do.
Yes, there was a neighbor person walking by.
Oh, yes, Lena. She's 2. I think you could make Lena a hat or something.
I'm sure I could.
I'm always in the garage, so the neighbors know me because they walk by and they say, we always see you in the garage, and they always kind of wondering what I'm doing.
That's right.
And Lena and her father walked by the other day, very cute. And, typical dad, his coffee cup, he thought, I'll just take out my 2-year-old with a coffee cup and her tricycle. Well, you see how well that worked out. So they were kind of stuck at the front of my house because she was not having it. She was not getting on the bike. And he didn't want to pick her up because he had his coffee cup. I'm like, oh my God. So it was kind of cute listening to their conversation. He was like, are you going to get on the bike or are you going to walk? Are you going to get on the bike or are you going to walk? And she was just not having it. She was just sitting down on the sidewalk. It was so cute. Anyway, he and I ended up having this great conversation, and Lena was as cute as a button, and finally she just walked away, and I said, I guess she's decided. And he says, I can't pick her up. I've got my coffee cup and I've got the tricycle, and I don't know how I'm going to carry everything. And I thought to myself, do you think a mom would take a coffee cup with a 2-year-old? They would kind of have thought that through. Anyway, it was kind of nice, the two of them, and his name was Buoyant, which was a very different name, but anyway, it was nice.
There we go.
And not only that, I've been going into Ancestry, and I have a new, like I mentioned before, a new relative in Australia, so I've been kind of still doing that and trying to figure out how we're connected.
Yeah, works in progress, that's for sure.
For sure.
All right, so those are the work in progress, and next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Well, our adventure took us to Haliburton, Ontario, which is a lovely spot. It's I look at it as Northern Ontario, but it's really not Northern Ontario. It's Central Ontario.
Yeah.
So even after that, you've got hours to go before you even hit Northern Ontario.
That's right.
My son went on the train out west to Vancouver, and he said he got on the train in Toronto, and they went all night on the train, and the next day they were still in Ontario.
Oh my goodness.
So that's how big Ontario is. But anyway, we were in Central Ontario, but for us it seems a lot north because we live more south. And beautiful country up there. As you're going to see in the video that we put in,
right.
It's absolutely an amazing place. We visited my friend from elementary school, which was awesome to reconnect. And
she's lovely.
She is. We had such a great time, and her husband Paul was there. Kathy, we just appreciate everything that she did for us.
That's right.
Really kind and couldn't do enough.
That's right.
I know we had dinner, and we had nice wine, and she made pasta from scratch. She made the pasta itself. We had lasagna. She made a lemon meringue pie. But we can put a video in, and we can talk all about that, so it gives you an idea what our visit was really like. And she lives about probably half an hour to 45 minutes, maybe farther from Haliburton, and north of Haliburton.
Yes.
So it was quite the drive. The roads, as you'll see in the video, there's not very many roads. I think there's one major, we were on the one major, I don't even know if you can call it a highway, but one major road that takes you off on all these little cottages areas.
Right.
And just lovely country up there. You're up by Algonquin Park, which is known for everything. Now, Kathy did say there was bears. We didn't see any bears, but lots of bears that go from the garbage dumps to garbage dumps that they see. Lots of deer. We did see a deer on the way out, as you'll see on the video.
Right.
But why don't we put that video in, and we'll talk also about the yarn store in Haliburton.
Right.
Great little town. The lady JanKnit's was lovely, and that's also in the video. So we'll put that video in, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Well, here we are. We thought I'd show it on the map, Colleen, just to give you an idea where we are. Here's London, where we live. And we drove up on our first one to Collingwood.
Yep.
And then we just went over to Gravenhurst.
And Bracebridge.
And then across there to there's Haliburton there, and then we went up to my friend's Kathy. Just gives you an idea.
That's right. It's great to show it on the map.
Now here's the highway that we were talking about. It's not much of a highway, but it's a really nice smooth road, as you can see.
Beautiful.
Further north you go, you get these rock formations in between the road, and it's actually a really nice drive up there.
It is. It's beautiful.
But you drive for hours, you can go for hours and hours on the same road.
That's right.
There's not much roadside things to stop at, so
No.
I would guess that you would have to make sure you had lots of gas in the car.
Lots of gas and lots of snacks.
Yes. Maybe a first aid kit or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
But like I say, the road was very smooth and nice, and we enjoyed the adventure of driving up there.
Exactly.
It was a nice road trip for sure.
And we're so pleased we have GPS. Oh my goodness, it makes our life so much easier.
Right. It's a pretty straightforward road.
Yep.
Not too bad,
Exactly.
but the weather was good, which helps too. I'm not sure if it was pouring rain. We were coming off the road. Here's a dirt road. Now here, we're going up Kathy's driveway, and I purposely left it on the whole time going up the driveway, just to show you how long the driveway is.
Exactly.
It's a very long way.
It is.
When we came off that highway, like I said, it was a dirt road, and we weren't sure
We were going the right
going the right way. Like, we have never been there before. You're driving in the bush here, and I'm looking at all these maple trees and fir trees, and it was beautiful. But we were a little hesitant only because, as you can imagine, we thought, where are we going? Are we going on the right place? Because it wasn't really on the GPS. Here is what we see. We see this beautiful garage, and then we turn to the left, and here's the house, and would not be expecting that.
No.
Looking right onto this gorgeous little lake, and this is from the window, that other picture, and beautiful fireplace, grandiose,
That's amazing.
gorgeous. And
Look at all that woodwork.
Paul has built this all by himself, put everything into it. It is just absolutely phenomenal. I love the barn doors.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. And the windows were great. Nice fresh air coming in there.
View of the lake from the window. I mean, unbelievable. And Kathy's a gardener. And Kathy also, I have to say that she's a sewer, she's a knitter, she does quilting, she makes beautiful cakes.
She's painted.
She's painting. She does cross stitch. We had so much in common.
That's right.
It was unbelievable. And also Paul was great because he does woodworking, and look what he's built. Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. And then they had chopped wood because they've got to keep warm in the winter.
Correct.
So that was their heating source, I believe. And this is going down to the lake. Now, I also believe there's only 8 people on this small lake.
Okay.
8 cottages, from what I understand. And as you get closer here to both sides, Colleen, I'm not sure if you saw that.
I didn't.
But there's 2 paths,
Right.
and that's kind of like the deer run. The deer run through there all the time.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's
it's kind of neat. And like I said, on the thing, that they do have bears, and they usually go from the garbage to garbage. Lots of bears, but you don't want to be getting too close to the bears.
No, not at all.
So this is a dock. Now, we were there earlier in the season, so they haven't really gotten their dock set up or out yet. And I'm sure next time we could take the kayak out and do some
That's
kayaking.
right.
And
That would be. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice little lake. It's not a big lake,
No.
but it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, the number of lakes in Ontario, unbelievable.
Oh gosh, how many was there? Ontario, I think there's like 250,000 lakes.
Oh my goodness.
Like in this region, just the Muskoka region, I think there's like that,
Oh, my
phenomenal
goodness.
amount of lakes. Chloe the dog, which is lovely, love the little dog. It's Chloe's deaf, so he'd look around all the time just to point to where he
you were
was supposed to go. It was just beautiful. Those windows are amazing. There's Kathy, she's lovely. Chloe and Paul. We just had such an amazing visit. I love that dog.
It was
It's so
lots
cute.
of fun.
we had such a wonderful visit. Yeah, and I can't wait to go back for a couple of days. And this is Kathy's one lemon meringue pie. I should have
don't
got
know
the
how she
recipe,
does it.
but I couldn't make it. And this was a couple of their deck chairs. And then on the way out, we saw a deer on the way out. It looked kind of scrawny, didn't it?
It did. It looked like it needed some food, so
Yeah.
hopefully it was on its way to find some.
Yeah, or maybe it's just a baby. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a little baby that lost its mom or something. Then, of course, after having a great visit, really nice connecting with Paula and Kathy, that we went to the yarn store, which is JanKnit's down in Haliburton.
Right in Haliburton.
First of all, to the thrift store, and there's the little town, the view of the little town. They had,
All those kayaks, my goodness.
well, it makes sense with the cottage country, doesn't
Exactly.
it? And then there was JanKnit's right in the little area. It was cute.
It's a nice little store, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So in I go.
Yep, not knowing what to expect, but it looks like a little country store.
It does. She's got it set up really well. So there's all kinds of samples, lovely shawls. There's some roving. Oh, I nearly thought about that. 'cause I
There's
did a
little kits. Now, remember we did
Those
one
are
of those
felting,
kits,
yes.
felting kits. It was a squirrel once. It didn't turn out too bad.
Not too bad. She's got some specialty threads because she does quilting. So there's lots of neat things. There's some felt for doing some felt work.
And
Look at these sweaters.
Kathy showed us her quilts too. I'm sure she knows about the store because
Absolutely.
her quilting was absolutely
Look at those
amazing
fancy
too.
socks. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Lots of sock yarn. It's just beautiful. And there's all the notions and needles. It's really well laid out. Like it was a really nice store to visit.
Yeah, it just felt kind of homey. Some stores you go into, they just feel like they've been around for a while, and
That's right.
they felt homey.
And
And
there's Janet.
I didn't get a picture behind Janet of all those awards.
There's ribbons.
and ribbons and ribbons.
Exactly.
And usually at fairs, but I asked Jan if there was any prize money. She said no, it was just.
She just got a red ribbon, so
Yep.
that's good.
But that's awesome, and a lot of firsts too.
A lot of firsts, that's for sure.
And just even the countertops and that were kind of old
Exactly.
school, like
Exactly. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. I love the sweaters. That Hudson Bay sweater, I thought, oh, I could wear one of those. Mm-hmm. I could make one of those and
that's
then wear 'em.
my favorite Hudson's Bay colors. And you've made the car blankets with the Hudson's
Right,
Bay colors.
absolutely.
They turn out just as nice as that sweater.
That's
And I was noticing all the
and there's a brioche
shawl
hat.
cuffs.
Oh, yeah, the shawl cuffs are great.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them, depending on the size of your wrist, you can wear as a wrist. As a waist
bracelet.
Bracelet, thank you. I know what I wanted to say. My mouth isn't working.
This was a nice shawl too. There's some of the
Some of the
quilts
quilts
there.
that she's selling.
And some weaving.
Exactly. There's a loom in the front window. So many things. Like
Yeah.
she really does a great job with the space that she has.
Yeah.
It's amazing. That's beautiful roving to work with.
There you are at the thread, Colleen, and we had a good time at JanKnit's, and that was a great adventure. Well, I hope that gave you a really good idea of how our visit went. We just had a lovely time, and Kathy it must have been good for them too, because we've been invited back again in August, which we really appreciate, and we're looking forward to that, maybe a couple of days. And just really nice to connect and reconnect. So, and the store, Colleen, you can talk about JanKnit's. It was a great little store.
So it's JanKnit's Studio and Yarn Shop. So the owner is Janet, and that's why it's JanKnit's. I think that's a cute little play on words there. She's been there since 2007. Lots of good samples, which you will have seen in that video. She's got all kinds of awards that she's done for quilting and knitting. And the one thing that she mentioned is they used to do these fur jackets. So there was yarn that was like fake fur, and so they'd knit them up and have these fur jackets. And she sold them in a number of different places. And they also do sewing machine service. Now, the computerized ones are not as often, You'd
So
have
old
to
school
kind of
ones?
old school ones, that's for sure. And she did mention, mentioned that the busiest time of year for them is winter and summer, which totally makes sense. Either people are in because they can't get out and so they're knitting, cottage country, or because it's summer and there's all the people coming up to cottage country and need something to do while they're on holiday.
Right, because Haliburton is not a huge little town, but it's a lovely little town.
It was great.
Great, got a little town feel when you're walking down the strip,
that's
as you
right.
saw in the video. It just gives you that little town feel, and it feels like Jan's been there forever. And
Right.
it's just a really nice little place. And you know, when we went to visit my friend Kathy, that's the closest thing to her as far as a little town. Like she's
right.
like really out there, so it's kind of neat.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
So we had a great time in Haliburton, and next we're going to talk about souvenirs. My souvenir is lovely, and I have a plan for it. So this is one of these. It is Fair Cotton Infinity by Katia. So I got this at JanKnit's studio and yarn shop. And this has 200 meters in it. It's 200 grams, sorry. 200 grams. So it's going to make something big. Now you get, the pattern came free with it. It's called Fair Cotton Infinity. And so there is what the shawl looks like. Now it is very big. Mm-hmm. And so I think what I may do...
You could make two.
You know what? I'm thinking I could be making some presents out of it. And I could maybe just, you know, make 3 little somethings out of it.
It says 656 yards, so that's quite big.
It's big.
Yeah.
And so I'm either going to use this pattern and make it, but that would even be big for me. So I think maybe
You've
I've
got
got
little
a couple of other
patterns that you could maybe
exactly.
use that would
And
be
there's
nice.
a pattern that I have that's called the Dragon Belly Shawl that is crochet, and that would work really nicely in it.
That's good.
But it feels good, and there are different colors that this yarn comes in, and depends on what's going on. They've all got different names,
Right.
And the neat thing about it is that Janet had a piece of paper that showed all the different colors and how it would end up, because some of them had more orange and some of them had more yellow, and so we like this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's got the name of the colorway. No, it doesn't. It's color 106 is what it is. But I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. It looks beachy.
It looks beachy. That
yeah.
was my plan. I guess I was thinking holiday
Yes.
beachy. There we
Yes.
go. So any souvenirs for you, May?
Of course, I have souvenirs. I think. I usually buy little things at the secondhand store to resell. I don't really like collecting things. I like
Right.
things to buy to resell.
Right.
And I've put them in my store already. Nothing
Okay.
that was really major or
Okay.
anything big. One was the sign, but I can't really tell you what the sign said because it really wasn't really that appropriate.
Okay.
But it was.
That must have
But
been-
you know what? I bought it for $1. This sign.
Yes.
And what does the sign say? Can you remember?
And I can't.
It says, inside me there's a skinny woman, but no, I can't remember what it was, but I'll have to find it for next time.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
anyway, I paid $1 for this sign.
Right.
And I put it in the store for $5, and I think it was gone like in 2 days because it was very funny. And I'm gonna find it for you, and I'll let you know what it is.
Okay.
It's very funny. And yeah, that's how funny it was because it sold for $5
That's right.
a day later or 2 days later. So,
That's
but yeah, don't feel bad for me about the souvenirs. There's nothing in the yarn store that I would buy, and certainly I do my share of getting things, so not
That's
a
right.
problem.
And sometimes what is a souvenir for me becomes a cowl for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of a win-win for me, really.
There you go. And it keeps me out of your hair while you're in the garage. So it's good. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below,
Ring that bell.
and subscribe. We really enjoy doing this. It was so nice to be on a road trip again.
It was.
Really, really like that. And there's still some other things to see
Right.
in our road trip. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to that.
Stay tuned for part 4 of the road trip.
That sounds good. And until next time.
You take care.